You know, it's a funny thing. You see these incredibly successful, high-achieving leaders, and you think they have it all figured out. But so often, they're secretly struggling with this nagging feeling of self-doubt. It's that classic imposter syndrome, right? Where on the outside, you're killing it, but on the inside, you feel like a total fraud. And this quote, it just nails that feeling. This is from Dr. Claire Allen. She became a CEO in her 20s. I mean, talk about success. And yet, her internal monologue was telling her she was too young, that she wasn't qualified. And believe me, she is not alone in feeling that way. So, what's the deal? Why does this happen? Why do people with amazing track records, people who are clearly competent and brilliant, still feel like they're just one wrong move away from being exposed? Let's really dig into that. To get to the bottom of it, we really have to look closer at the story behind that quote. For Dr. Allen, this wasn't just a moment of doubt. It was a full-blown crisis that ended up shaping her entire philosophy on leadership. Because she felt like a fraud, she felt this desperate need to prove herself. So what did she do? She overworked. She was constantly trying to show everyone, and honestly, herself, that she deserved to be in that chair. And the result was totally predictable, right? Complete and utter burnout. And through that whole painful experience, she managed to identify the root cause. She put a name to it, and it's something she calls the worth trap. See, it's not about your skills. It's this deep subconscious belief that your worth isn't a given. It's conditional. You feel like you have to earn it again and again, which turns every success into just a temporary relief. Okay, so we have this idea of the worth trap, but what does it actually look like in our day-to-day behavior? Well, it turns out it usually shows up as one of 4 distinct hidden identities that we adopt completely subconsciously. And here's the thing, you can't fix a problem you can't see, right? The very first step to breaking free is just awareness. You have to see your own pattern. So Dr. Allen created what she calls a worth audit to help leaders figure out which of these identities might be running the show. So take a look at these and see if any of them ring a bell. First, you've got the pleaser, whose main goal is just to keep everyone happy, often at their own expense. Then there's the performer, totally hooked on achievement, always chasing the next win. We have the perfectionist, who is so terrified of being criticized that they can get paralyzed. And finally, the protector, who builds up walls to avoid getting hurt, but ends up isolated. And as you can see, every single one of these comes with a huge cost. Now this is so important. If you just saw yourself in one of those boxes, please hear this. These are not character flaws. You are not broken. These are simply subconscious patterns. And the best news is, because they were learned, they can be rewired. All right, so we've identified the problem. We've seen the patterns. The big question is, what do we actually do about it? How do we start to rewire that old programming and build a new, much more authentic leadership identity? And the answer is probably not what you'd expect. It's not about getting another degree or another certification. It's not even about finding a new mentor. The real work is much deeper. It's about forging a new identity. And that's what led Dr. Allen to develop this method, identity anchoring. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a real framework, and it's built on solid principles from neuroscience and psychology. The whole point is to go beneath the surface and actually rewire those limiting beliefs deep in your subconscious, so you can start leading from a place of real, authentic confidence. So how does it work? Well, it's a 5-phase framework, and it's super logical when you see it. It all starts with awareness, just seeing your patterns clearly. From there, you move to anchoring, which is about rooting into your true identity on a neural level. Then you embody it, so that confident presence becomes your automatic default. Next is integration, which is all about aligning your work with your life to stop burnout for good. And finally, expansion, where you get to scale your impact from that new solid place. Okay, 5-step framework sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Let's talk about the results. Let's talk about proof at scale. Let's start with a big number, 2 billion. That's the value of assets that Dr. Claire Allen has personally led during her career as a CEO. So this isn't just theory, it's a method that's been proven in some really high-stakes environments. How about this one? 600%. That was the massive increase in client numbers. We're talking from 2,000 to 12,000 that she drove at just one of her organizations. That shows you the kind of impact this approach can have on scaling a business. And this framework isn't some new fad that was cooked up overnight. Nope. It's built on a solid foundation of more than 30 years of real, in the trenches executive leadership experience. And, the proof is in the pudding. The principles behind this have been recognized over and over again. We're talking prestigious awards like the Telstra Businesswoman of the Year, Pinnacle Awards for Culture, HESTA Awards for being an outstanding organization, all in all, over 20 major awards. So let's bring all this back home. What does this really mean for you? What does it actually feel like to lead from this solid anchor instead of being stuck in that old worth trap? It really all boils down to this one fundamental shift. It's about moving from a leadership style that's all about proving and performing and pleasing to one where your value is the starting point. It's a given. It's the foundation you lead from, not the prize you're trying to win. And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. Just take a second and really ask yourself this question. If you knew deep in your bones that your worth was never in question, how would you lead differently? How would you show up? What decisions would you make? Think about it.